Shane Boyd here. And as a small business owner, maybe you would like to have, I don't know, a behind the scenes look at some of the biggest companies to see how they market their business. See, as a small business owner, you know that marketing is a big part of your business. Sometimes it consumes your mind when you don't want it to because you're thinking, how do I get more clients? How can I serve more clients? How do I get the best funnel? How do I get the best lead piece? How do I close more sales? Marketing's big. It's part of our business. As a small business owner, I get it, man. Marketing's huge. But what if, I don't know, let's say, what if you can go to some of the biggest companies in the world and kind of take a peek behind the curtains to see what they're doing in their marketing? What kind of strategy do they use to get all the sales and promotions and the results that they get? Well, that's what I'm going to show you today, because I have right here Apple's marketing strategy. Yes, like the Apple, like the iPhone, the MacBooks, all of the, Apple, Steve Jobs' Apple. I have their marketing strategy. Now, as a small business owner, that's kind of big stuff. Now, we don't have their budget. No, we can't go out there and advertise like $4 billion, trillion a year, but we can use some of their same strategies. Notice I'm emphasizing the word strategy. That's where they began. They had a strategy from day one. They knew they were going to be different. You see, you take an Apple and your basic PC, great computers, both of them. The innards are kind of similar. But see, Apple had a totally different strategy. They knew from day one they were going to be different. They're going to have basically an inside source. They're not going to be everywhere. They're going to have their own source. They're different from day one. That was a strategy of theirs. But what was some of their really key strategies that they keep using even today? I mean, even though they keep getting bigger and bigger and better, that's not by happen chance. They have a strategy. So I'm going to go through, it's only 10. They might have more, but these are the top 10 that I found by researching them. So the first one here is they focus on value, not price. That's a big one. If you learned nothing else today from the video, focus on value, not price. What do I mean? You take, for example, their computers. You take their laptop compared to the average, Dell or HP. Now the laptop for an Apple, what's it, 2000, give or take? And you can buy a comparable one at HP or Dell for probably half the price. But is it really? I mean, seriously. I think the quality of the Apple is way better in what they can do and what they can actually run as opposed to a Dell. I mean, in one of my businesses, I had it for 17 years. I went through, 5 or 6 computers. They just crashed. How many times did that happen with an Apple? Not so much. They focus on value. So I modeled that with my company as well, my consulting company. I focus on value, not price. I mean, you can go and find the cheapest price for anything you want. The cheapest shirt, the cheapest house, the cheapest consultant. My fees begin at $2,997. That's my starting fee. And that's for a 30-day package. Well, then you're like, $3,000? Crying out loud, that's expensive. Is it? Because see, when you pay me essentially $3,000, here's what I give you. I'm going to give you a strategy to double your business. Absolutely. So once you hire me, I'll give you a strategy to double your business. What does that mean to you? Are you doing 100K a year? I'll show you a strategy to do 200K a year. Are you doing 50K? Well, I'll show you a strategy for doing 100K. See, I'm focused on value, not price. At that point, I'm showing you how to make that much more money. I should, get a pay raise. But anyways, I keep it right to the point. I offer a great value, not price. Now, the next thing that Apple does, pretty awesome, they find their fans. They don't just go after everybody, they find their fans. You can do the same thing. Who already knows you, likes you, and trusts you? What systems do you have to facilitate that? Find your fans. That's pretty awesome. That's how Apple has a strategy, so when they unload a new iPhone, people are waiting in line for days to get it. They advertise to their fans. Plus, number 3, they're simple. Simplicity is everything. Look at their computer. Look at their brand. Look at their marketing. Look at their commercials. Look at their phones. They're not fancy pants and all, crazy and flashy and everything. They're simple. Keep it simple. Oh, and know what you stand for. Otherwise, as the old adage goes, if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. Well, they know what they stand for, so they are unwavering on that. Doesn't matter who doesn't like them. They know what they stand for, and you can do the same thing in your business. Create an experience that drives attention. Think about when you go into an Apple store. Is it fun? Do you enjoy it? Is it kind of exciting? Is it new, cutting edge? And, you know, it's neat, man. You walk in there and everything is simple, but it's amazing all at the same time. That's a strategy, man. They do that on purpose. You can do the same thing in your business. We had it done to us when we had our carpets cleaned one time. We had a company, they did a great job. I would expect any carpet cleaning company to do a good job. But some of the other things that they do, which just makes it a little bit nicer. The one thing they did, which my son is one that made it awesome, they left a little bit of a cleaner afterwards, and those little booties you wear and you put over your shoes to walk through the house, they left those as well because the carpet's still kind of damp, and they left. Well, my son thought that was just the coolest thing. He was about maybe 4, and he put the booties on his feet, and he put a booty on his head. Then he just the little blue booties, put them on his feet, on his head, and then he started running through the house and sliding across the carpet. Well, I'll never forget that. My son's 17 now. This is 13 years ago. I mean, I'll never forget that, or that company. So create that kind of unforgettable experience for your clients as well. Create captivating visuals to win people over. Apple does that. It's a strategy. Remember, it's so simple but amazing. What kind of image do you have that's, do people dig it? Do they not dig it? It's a strategy. Think about it. Now, use your stakeholders' language, i.e. your customers' language. This was a big one. You may have been able to, at some point, watch Steve Jobs' speech on this. This is back when the iPod was just a thought. It hasn't come to market yet. Now, you may not know what an iPod is. Google it. I still use an iPod. I'm old. But an iPod, he could have said, it has 10 gigabytes, and it can do X, Y, Z, and keep time and everything else, and you can download X, Y, and Z. It's not what he said. That wasn't his marketing message, because all the gigabytes and megabytes and all the techie stuff, I wouldn't get it, man. His average consumer, even though they're pretty intelligent, they wouldn't get all that techie stuff. So he kept it simple. He used a language that his prospects, his ideal clients would recognize, the stakeholders. And here was his language. You can have 20,000 songs in your pocket. That was it. Now, that was that time, and we didn't have tape players. We had CD players. Remember a CD player? Well, you know how big a CD is. The CD player was like this big. And you'd have the CD player like on your hip when you go to the gym. It was kind of bulky and ridiculous. Well, he was like, if you have a CD, you only have 12 songs? So you figured 45 minutes, the CD is done. Well, he was like, I can give you 20,000 songs and it'll fit in your pocket. He used language that we could all understand. Now, he appeals to our emotions. Apple appeals to our emotions. Think about similar to Starbucks. Those two are very similar in their brands. Now, you go and you drink Starbucks coffee, not just having a cup of coffee, you're going to Starbucks. It's almost an event. I mean, you walk into a Starbucks and the aroma just hits you at the door. And you can kind of look around, depending on where you live in the world, of who's going to be there. But a lot of times you're going to see a lot of business type of people are there during the day. You'll have, the laptop millionaires will hang out there as well. The people who are, super savvy in anything tech, they hang out at Starbucks. And what are they using for their computers? Apple. A lot of times you see Apple there. I mean, you look at somebody who has an Apple computer sitting there doing work, you immediately just think differently of them. It has a whole new message. You think, okay, they're modern, they're smart. How's that? Not that you're not smart if you use a HP or a Dell, but they just have a complete image they use, man. It's totally cool. Now, master your target market. That should go without saying, but they have a strategy for that too. So this is still their strategies. How are you working on your strategy? It's kind of big stuff. And the last one, do it differently. That was how they were from day one. I mean, from the very first commercial they had back in 1984 during the Super Bowl, they was think different. That's their thing, man. Be different. Think different. Do whatever it is you do differently. If the fastest way to succeed in your business is to look around what everybody else is doing, don't do that. Do it differently. So yeah, those are their Apple's, 10. They have more. But that's 10 of their marketing strategies. Huge. What are your marketing strategies? I mean, at this point that I'm recording this, we're in mid-September. So we are approaching the fourth quarter of the year. That's typically you have October, November, December. That's the end quarter, last quarter of the year. Are your sales where they're supposed to be? Do you have as many clients as you want? Do you have a strategy for the remaining of this year, the fourth quarter? And do you have a strategy for the first quarter of next year? If you have no strategy, then when you're marketing, you're just kind of out there making noise. You may do some different marketing by happen chance, direct mail and Facebook ads and Google ads, or you may do some YouTube videos or different social media platforms, but you don't have a strategy, then it's all just noise. You need to have a strategy for the first quarter, the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, the whole year. It needs to be synergistic. So therefore, when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what you're going to do for marketing and have it all squared away. You can outsource all of it. You don't have to be the one doing it. A lot of times as a small business owner, you may not enjoy doing marketing, that's fine. Outsource it. But you still need a strategy. If you have no strategy and you kind of feel lost in that, let me know. Comment below, like, subscribe, and I'll be in touch with you. I have a link in this description here where you can book a call and we can go ahead and figure out what your strategy is going to be for the next year, for the next 2 months, 3 months, or whatnot. How are you going to double your business by having a better strategy? Those things we go over on the call. If I can help you in any way, let me know. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.